All right, good afternoon. Again, the formality, my noon class is the recorded class now, so, chat for a second there, and here's the formal start. Happy Monday, the 19th? Here we're cruising along middle April. Gorgeous weekend. As you, go Paul and Christian did not hear my spiel. Naturally, sun comes out, warm weather occurs. You're going to naturally perspire more, not necessarily sweating more. Naturally, you're going to move more, get it out gardening, working on your deck, wine tasting. So please make sure the next couple weeks you increase your hydration level. And that's not just drinking water. Again, try to get some electrolytes in your body. When you drink your electrolytes, it'll help you get hydrated. And then, of course, helps you stay hydrated. I'm not here to sell you anything at all. I did change venues. I'm on the front of the area. We had a little presentation a couple weeks ago, and it's just a really pretty board. Anyhow, you don't have to read it, but change venues. Anyhow, we need to get to work. Let's get our warm-up routine going. And as you finish that quick warm-up routine, I'm going to talk about the tools you may need today and the workout we're going to do and blah, 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 blah. But when I hesitate to do things that require tools because everybody has them, and then the biggest thing that I deal with is when people get discouraged, they stop doing it. So I want to make sure you're got your adjustments. Here's your warm-up. 10 regular squats, which you have done literally a million times to start your workout. 10 regular squats, you'll shake it. 10 wide squats, you'll shake it. 10 narrow squats, and I want you to do that twice. So that's 60 total movements. It's 60 consecutive reps of squats. And as you do it, I'm going to talk about your squats, right? You've started with them a million times. You've done the movement to get out of bed. You've done the movement to go to the bathroom. And maybe you've kind of done the movement to get in your car, right? You've done this movement before. But your forwards, your hips, they move a lot. Your glutes should turn on. Your eyes is for your posture. You don't look down. You don't look up. And that word thighs, reminder, your legs. It's a leg exercise. It's not a back exercise. 10 regular squats, mobility, movement, activation. 10 wide squats. Your feet are just wider than your regular squat. If you can maintain the motion to your regular squat, it's going to be your flexibility squat. You'll feel your hip muscles, your hip flexors, your hamstrings, and your quads. You're going to feel them lengthen more on your wide squats. And again, you'll shake it. Your narrow squats is your mobility squat. Again, if you can maintain or increase the motion compared to your regular squat, your joints tend to move a little more. Hips, knees, ankles, spine. Again, the two loops is 60 total consecutive squats. 10 regular, 10 wide, 10 narrow. Good controlled tempo. 2.5 to 3 seconds. That's basically 3 minutes of squats, right? Give or take. They don't need to be loaded, but your mindset is the forwards, your hips, they move a lot. Your glutes turn on, posture with your eyes, and then a reminder. It's a leg exercise, not a back exercise. Squats, hips, glutes, eyes, thighs. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the workout today. There's one more piece to the warm-up we'll do in a second. Again, if you have the tools as you're doing the warm-up, I'm going to look around. If you have a workout bench to lay on, or a nice heavy box that you've stepped up on before, those are firmer, trusting tools. I would let you use a chair for not step-ups, but for pistol squats. But it needs to be a firm, solid, trustworthy chair. If you don't trust it, don't use it. Part 2, the last part of your warm-up, it's a simple warm-up. 10 standing scissors. You have your dynamic lengthening. Don't forget about the arms, shoulders, legs, as we talked about on Friday. Your 10 standing runners, dynamic mobility. And then you have your 10 Jack LaLannes, which is your dynamic flexibility. 10 standing scissors, 10 standing runners, 10 Jack LaLannes times 2, just like the squat. Remember that word dynamic in my world, multi-joint motion. Lots of joints are moving, or more than one joints are moving, and multi-muscle activation, that's dynamic. Static in my world is single joint movement and single muscle focused. So those are the two main things that I educate people on. 10 standing scissors. You're lengthening your hamstrings, your glutes, your back. You're using your arms and your legs via your shoulders and hip joints. Don't get me wrong, those joints moving. 10 just standing runners. There's a little more mobility of your hips, knees, ankles, and spine on your standing runners. Don't get me wrong, there's a similar motion between your standing runners and standing scissors. And then your jack-o'-lanterns. Wider feet, higher hamstring stretch. Lower feet, narrower feet, lower hamstring stretch. So the width of your feet does matter. Wider, higher, narrower, lower on the stretch that you get on your standing jack-o'-lanterns. Again, 10 standing scissors, 10 standing runners, 10 jack-o'-lanterns. This workout can get a little lengthy because of what I need to talk about right now. Okay, as you're finishing off the warm-up, I'm going to go over your right leg choices. So I do want your attention on it. Again, part of the duration of today's workout is the starting explanation. Remember, I haven't done a lot of these things for a reason. I want you discouraged and I want you efficient. Okay, so if I slow you down, we lose efficiency. Today's right leg choices. Now, we've done lateral step-ups. That's a great choice if you have the tool. You need the step-up. If you worked out with Mike, who's been a trainer here before, there's a curtsy step-up. It's still a step-up, but you have that lateral, even a little bit of rotational motion, displacement of the step-up, but my right leg stays put. And there's a whole bunch of good reasons for it, but I need to be mindful. Don't just do this, right? I'm going to get up like you would do the step-up. That's a curtsy step-up. Last week, and then over other weeks, we have done split squats. You don't need a bench. That's a Bulgarian split squat or an elevated split squat. So you can use the ground if you want to do split squats, but we've done that. Last but not least, and probably some I'd rather you focus on, would be the pistol squat. And again, I haven't done it very much because the challenging exercise and the tools you need. We can use a TRX. So if you have a TRX, eliminate the bench if you want to, and you hold on to something like your water skiing. Again, if you don't have the TRX, it's fine too. But a pistol squat is an exercise kind of like a hack squat. You need something to lean against on a pistol squat. You need something to fall on or sit on or hold on to on a pistol squat. It's not just a single-legged squat. Don't get me wrong, there's people out there that can go, to the floor with their butt. I am not one of those people. When you get to your right leg, it's either split squats, you need less tools, lateral or curtsy step-ups, you definitely need a tool. Pistol squats would be a bench or TRX, or you could hold onto the rope in a garage, or Gopal and Krishna. You can even hold on to each other. Just don't kick each other. I know it sounds corny, okay? 20 will be the number on your right leg. And if you have any questions, please ask. The downside is you mostly need a tool. But if you really need to, you've got your right-legged, stiff-legged deadlifts. You've got your right-legged lunges that you've done a million times. 20 is the number on your right leg. Maybe you've started, maybe you haven't, but the whole circuit, not the whole day, the whole circuit is going to be a right leg 20. I don't want you to hold weight unless you're doing something that's easier because you don't have the tools. I want you to focus on these things. I'm going to talk about the combo and then I'm going to come back. Your combo is curl to press. Whether you sit tall or you stand tall, we have done curl to press before, and I don't want to say you're not focused, but you don't have to think very much during your curl to press, whereas I need you to think more on your right leg. Sitting tall, standing tall, curl to press. The numbers are either 30 total movements down by 6 or 15 revolutions down by 3. So if you count each individual movement, go to 30 and then go down by 6. Or if you count the whole thing as 1 revolution, you're going to do 15 and go down by 3. I would say it's split pretty even on how people count. So I'll let you focus, but I am going to talk more about the right-legged things. And of course, if you have any questions, please ask. The circuit, you've got 5 sets of right leg 20. And I would like to eliminate all the things you're used to doing and focus on these things, always 20. And I don't want you to hold weight unless you're really, really, really good at it, or you're doing something that is easier because you don't have the tools. Your curl to press is your combo, sitting tall, standing tall, and of course it's 30 down by 6 or 15 down by 3. And my only request on that, 2 movement exercises. The movements don't affect each other. The curl is the curl, the push is the push, and there is a distinct separation. Okay? Alrighty. You're working. I'm talking more for education. If you have any questions, please ask. The pistol squat. The bench could be lower, the bench could be higher. If you have a chair, it better be a sturdy chair. I could also add the green butt pads here. We can add other things to sit on that could change the ultimate depth. But pistol squats, the number one thing you're going to see is activation. You are trying to activate. You're trying to not use momentum. Remember, I haven't done this very much. I didn't do them a lot growing up because I used all the tools that I had around, but they're a very popular exercise. So you're not creating momentum. That's the biggest thing. It is you activating. That's number one. Ooh, so you got to focus. The number 2 in that activation is controlling the down. It's not about sitting down. That's not going to feel good. So it's control. It's time under tension. You got the tempo. You got weight distribution. You got activation. There's so many things. The pistol squat with the TRX, although the same dang motion, maybe you get lower, you get more displacement. Now, pretend I'm holding the TRX, so I'm going to add a little more momentum. Right? I'm holding that TRX. All right, I got the weight distribution. Maybe you get a little bit more motion, but the key is don't use your arms. So whether it's a TRX or a band or a rope or a workout partner, like I could be holding you. You could be holding me so you have that displacement. That's the TRX or a holding tool pistol squat. So it's activation. Split squats we talked a lot about last week. Again, a Bulgarian or elevated split squat. It's all about that right leg. And if you don't have the bench, that's fine. I'm going to really focus on that right leg. I'm going to eliminate that left leg on that split squat. And of course, you have height of the leg behind you. You've got weight of the tools. Today, I'm looking at more load and focus and burn than I am overall like physical weight. Let's talk about that step, right? The lateral step is great. You know, we don't do a lot of them per se. I think in the gym, I've done a lot more the last several months versus the regular step up. When you do anything lateral, when you hear the word lateral, you're going to turn on your lateral muscles, which humans have stopped using over time, right? We sit, we run forward, we walk forward, we bike forward, we do everything in front of us. We really don't get out of our body. And yes, even hiking, I know there's, you know, you're moving through the terrain, but it really isn't that much lateral motion per se, unless you have the intent. So the lateral step is for that. You get your vastus lateralis, semitendinosus, your glute minimus and medius, and that curtsy step up comes into play. And now you have joint mobility, right? It's a great exercise. Knock on wood. Shouldn't get hurt doing these things, but you do need to be really mindful of that mobility of knee and ankle and hip, activation of all those muscles on that curtsy step up. And again, the essence of all of these is not creating momentum. It's all about activation and focus. And of course, if you Instagram and Facebook and see all these things, you'll see people with killer motions, killer booties, right? They rock it because they're really good at them, and they're pretty much a body weight exercise. But there's mobility of hips, knees, ankles, there's flexibility of muscles, there's activations of muscles, there's so many things that make it hard. So as you're doing the circuit, right, your right leg is always 20. Math says you're 2.5, 3-second reps, especially if you're really focused on it. You're looking at about 5+ minutes of right leg only, separated by your lifting of 30 total curl presses down by 6, 15 revolutions down by 3. So the duration of the circuit is probably about a 12-minute circuit, give or take. Ultimate rest and load. At the gym, remember, I can always control the tools a little bit more. So everybody has a bench and a box, different levels. I've got the Dynadiscs out, so they can sit on those on the pistol squat. They could stand on those on the split squat. They could stand on them on step-ups. I really want to do lateral step-ups with the Dynadisc. So different things. Also, the weight that I get to hand people on the curl to press, right, might be a little different. I'm not selling you on anything, but the diversity and the duration of the workout changes. So, recorded version, right? If you're at the gym, which I use these recorded workouts a lot when I'm not here to send to people at the gym, you got to get your space ready. You've probably already seen it this week. Make those adjustments. So I'm letting you focus, letting you cruise. You got your 5 sets of 20 right leg focused pistol squat, lateral or curtsy step-ups, split squat. But again, worst case scenario, and I hopefully touched on it earlier, you can do any right leg as long as you're really focused on that slow motion. Getting after today. Now, everybody will have a different ultimate pace based on the exercises they're choosing, the load they have, right? There's so many ways to make this workout really short. Most people are only doing 3 circuits. At the gym, I had a couple people going really quickly, and I tried to slow them down. So at risk reward, I gave them more to do because they were going so fast. But this workout has 3 big circuits. For the quickie ones, I gave them a little bit more. But as the circuit gets done, I'm going to start talking about the exertion or cardio, which will sound almost exactly like last week, to go with the abs and core that I'm going to give you. So the next circuit has controlled pace because I'm going to be changing your abs. But of course, everybody's going to have other choices. So you'll start to see me talk about more and more stuff as we move along. But timing alone says this circuit was at least 12 minutes. Blah, blah, blah. Again, on the curl to press, you've got the incline bench, so you can stand tall. You can sit vertically tall. You'll see me put some people on a D or a small incline, so they come back a notch. The pulling on all of the 2 movement exercises. Later on, we have fly press, and then my extra credit was pullover presses, but it's not going to happen today. Anyhow, the pulling exercise on all the 2 movement stuff is the longer, the harder motion. It's what determines the weight. The pushing on all these are meant to be smooth. So my rhythm for people on the 2 movements is lengthen and focus on the pull, make sure you have the right weight, and then the push is all about smooth and a nice good burn. So we've done those things before. I'll start talking about that next circuit soon. Just one more time on that right leg, always 25 sets later, separated by curl to press, 30 total movements down by 6, or 15 revolutions down by 3. Motion, load. Time under tension. Controlled tempo. When you do get done though, I want your space ready for your abs. We'll start the next circuit with abs, but the circuit is abs with either cardio. If you have a formal cardio tool, and again it'll sound like last week, feel free to use it. I'll give you the numbers soon. If you don't have a cardio tool, I'm making people pick either plyometrics, and that'll have a number scheme, or agility, which has the number scheme. This workout is very much a hands-on personal training workout, slowing it down. And if you want cardio, you got cardio. If you want plyometrics, we got plyometrics. If you want agility, we got agility. And I'll talk about that very soon. Stella, thank you for doing the Zoom, by the way. All right, I'm just going to start talking about it. If you are not there, I get it. And if you're doing the recorder workout, clearly push pause, and you'll be able to come back and do this soon. But as you know, the whole thing's going to be a nice good 50-minute workout. The abs, I'm going to give you 6 different abs core. Remember using both of those words, abs core. We're going to have abs and exertion or cardio. So I'm going to give you the abs, okay? When you get to your combo, if you want cardio, you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 minutes. Sound familiar? That's 9 combined minutes. If you want to time yourself while you do exertion, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 minutes, 9 total minutes. We have abs, right, and core. If you want plyometrics, jump, squats, split, jumps, burpees, lateral bench hops, skater hops, bigger things, plyometrics are going to be 30, 60, 90, 60, 30 because they're all bigger. If you want agility, high knees, butt kicks, bench taps, ski hops, mountain climbers, right? Quicker, 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 bench tap, right? They're going to be 50, 100, 150, and 150. And Gopal and Krishna, who weren't here on Friday, yeah, I said 50, 100, 150, 150 pyramid. Stella's like, again? Anyhow, the next circuit. The second you get done with your last right leg and your curl press combo, you're going to do 30 sit-ups. Round 1 of the next circuit is 30 sit-ups. And then you either do 1 minute cardio, or you do 30 plyometric, or you do 50 on your agility. And why those numbers? Well, 1 minute time is pretty basic, right? The 30 plyometric is because it's bigger, more powerful, more load, more impact. It reps, right? The agility, a little quicker, a little quieter, a little smoother. So we separated the word exertion, and I made you either choose plyometric or agility. But if you want to time yourself, you can do any exertion, right? So round 1 of circuit 2, 30 sit-ups. You either do 1 minute cardio or 30 plyometric or 50 agility. Round 2, you should not be there, but round 2 is going to be 50 on your horizontal scissors, and then you'll do either 2 minutes on your cardio, or you're going to have 60 plyometric, or you're going to have 100 agility. And remember, you can always time yourself on everything. And I said it last week, the reason why I don't use my timer on these things is because you guys are going to start separating based on your getting on and off the ground situation. Sit-ups, right? You have legs straight, knees bent, laying on the ground, laying on a ball, laying on a bench. If you're choosing high knees or butt kicks or jumping jacks versus split jumps and burpees, right? Those are 2 different things. So this circuit is abs core, and I will use the word being cardiovascular, but you don't have to be on a formal cardio tool. And I want you to hear it. I want you to be focused on it. I don't want you to have to wait for me. Round 1, 30 sit-ups. Either do 1 minute cardio or 30 plyometric, or 50 agility. Round 2 is 50 horizontal scissors. You're in Russian twist position, which is coming up later on, and your legs go out. Again, you could be on the ground, you could be on a bench. Abs tight, core tight on your 50 horizontal scissors. If you do things big and slow, you're going to count reps. If you do things little and quickly, you're going to count revolutions. And I see that all the time. I don't care if you do the little ones. Time under tension, you got to do revolutions instead of reps. That's my only trade-off. Again, round 1, 30 sit-ups. Either 1 minute cardio, or 30 plyometric, or 30 agility. Round 2 is 50 on your horizontal scissors, either 2 minute cardio, or 60 plyometric, or 100 agility. That timing-wise, you guys are great. Round 2, circuit 2, 50 horizontal scissors, 2 minute cardio, or 60 plyometrics, or 100 on the agility. And I like agility. Agility is a great choice. High knees, running revolutions, walking reps. Butt kicks, running revolutions, walking reps. Jumping jacks, pretty much reps. Bench taps, higher, harder, slower reps. Lower, quicker, easier revolutions. Mountain climbers, again, same thing. Quicker, quieter, easier revolutions. Bigger, harder, slower reps. So you can asterisk agility. Like ski humps, for example. Like these are little and these are quick revolutions. But if it's hard to do the same thing, you could call that a plyometric or an agility, because the power that needs to be created to displace the load you're trying to move, and it will have a little bit of impact. The bigger the motion, the more power created, the bigger the impact. Plyometric versus agility. When you do get to round 3, and I'm not saying you should be there, time says you guys are probably getting close to being done with round 2, somewhere in there. Round 3 is 30 reverse crunches. You're laying on something. Both legs are moving on your reverse crunches for 30. And you're going to have the peak of the pyramid. Either 3 minutes of cardio, or 150 agility, or 90 plyometrics. Remember, you can always set your timer and do any exertion. You can run up and down your stairs. You can do jumping rope, jumping jacks. It's easier to time yourself when you're doing mindless things. You could time yourself and do Jack LaLannes and standing runners and standing scissors. You could do the Airdyne, the arm bike, right? You could just flip the bike over and do the arms on, and there's so many things you could do this circuit to turn the dial up. Medicine ball throws, rope slams, sledgehammers. Now I put a lot of those things in the plyometric world too, because of the power that needs to be created. Round 3, 30 reverse crunches. You're laying on something. Both legs are moving. 30 reverse crunches. Peak of the pyramid on your 3-minute cardio, or 150 agility, or 90 plyometrics. This circuit, like last week, and like a lot of our circuits, When I do a circuit like this, it has nothing to do with the other circuits. I want you to be out of that circuit, right? Change the rhythm of the workout. That right leg required a lot of focus and attention, being mindful of your space and the equipment you're using. We've had transition rounds from right side to left side many times. This is meant to get a little huffy puffy sweaty in the middle and come back into the left side later. Again, round 3, 30 reverse crunch. Both legs are moving. Peak of the pyramid, 3-minute cardio or 150 exertion or 90 plyometrics or 150 agility. Now, I'm just looking at my time, right? If you are getting close to being done with round 3, awesome. Just please make sure the motion is big, challenging, worthwhile, energetic, right? That's all I'm asking. Controlled tempo on your ab. And of course, based on what you're doing, agility, plyometrics, timed exercises, it'll determine the duration of your circuit. When you get to round 4, and I'm not saying you should be there, you'll be on your 50 Russian twist. Maybe it's weighted, maybe it's not, but it's something big and slow. And the word rotation is in your head. Yes, my legs are moving out of the way a little bit, but my upper body is rotating onto my lower body, and my lower body is just kind of getting out of the way. I personally like it when your feet are off the ground, but you don't have to have your feet off the ground. You'll see a lot of people that don't, and that's why ultimately the upper body is rotating on the lower body. I personally like the legs off the ground so you get a little more displacement, a little more balance. Round 4, 50 Russian twist. You're gonna go down the pyramid. You'll have your, 2-minute cardio or the 60 plyometric or 100 agility. And of course, time-wise, the first 2 classes didn't start the last circuit to like the 40-42 mark. If you are short on time, I will make sure we get you the next circuit here soon. I definitely want the 2 main circuits. So, if we need to move on, let me know now. But if you have a couple minutes, I'll start talking about the next circuit soon. In round 4, when you get there, 50 Russian twist. You're going to go down the pyramid, 2-minute cardio, 100 agility, or 60 plyometrics. Work, a little tempo. Again, Russian twist. There is on a bench, Russian twist ball bounce. There's on a bench, Russian twist, no ball bounce. There's on the ground, I wouldn't really bounce the ball when you're on the ground, but touching the ball to the ground is always reps. Bigger, slower movements are always reps. Not touching the ground, little revolutions, quicker reps are always revolutions. So horizontal scissors and the Russian twist both have possibilities of reps and revolutions. Bigger, slower reps. Smaller, quicker revolutions. You guys are my studs, my noon crew. All this should pretty much make sense. We take those small little adjustments per day, take that instruction, make sure we're doing things safely, correctly, working hard, controlling your tempo. I can literally count how many workouts, I'll say it's 5, that have had a slow pace. A lot of them have had slow rhythm, but technically I don't let you rest very much. So technically pace is always pretty high. The rhythm of workouts can be slow or fast. Again, just so you hear it, round 4, you've got your 50 Russian twist, 5-0 Russian twist. You're going down that pyramid, 2-minute cardio or 100 agility or 60 plyometrics. Round 5, we're getting close. You got your 30 V-ups, V as in victory on the V-ups. 30 V-ups, you'll have the 1-minute cardio or 50 agility or 30 plyometric. You'll finish the circuit with 50 swimmers. 5-0, 50 swimmers is how you'll finish the circuit. But I do want to start talking about the next circuit in about 2 minutes, unless you need to start hearing it now. Remember that other circuit's going to have your left leg in it. And it's about a 15-minute circuit, right? 12 to 15 minutes, right? Give or take. And again, I'm going to send these off to recorded workout peeps, right? Following it, I'm going to be gone on a day or whatever it is. This is a workout that you definitely could listen to, keep it playing. If you find yourself behind, you push the pause button. The more tools, the more load, the more motion, the slower the workout. Round 4 was your 50 Russian twists. You had your 2-minute cardio or 100 agility or 60 plyometric. Round 5 is your 30 V-ups, V as in victory. You have the last combo, 1-minute cardio or 30 plyometric or 50 agility. You're going to end the circuit soon with 50 swimmers. And as you're doing that, I don't mind if you're cruising, right? But if you're short on time, we need to make sure we get our left leg circuit. So the next circuit, the last circuit, is our 5 sets of 20 left leg. Try to replicate what you did on your right leg with your left leg. Does it have to be exact? No. But it'd be cool if you simulated that as much as possible. Your left leg replaces the right leg, and then you'll be laying on something for your fly to press. Just like earlier, the pulling fly, the slow, wide, lengthening fly is what will determine the weight you get to use. Your fly to press will have the same numbers as your curl to press. The 30 down by 6 total movements, or the 15 down by 3 revolutions. But notice how I'm talking. A bigger, slower, controlled tempo, mindful of what you're doing. Again, the left leg will happen like the right leg. Split squat, whether it's elevated, aka Bulgarian split squats, whether it's on the ground, you are focused on that left leg working. The lateral or curtsy step up, the pistol squat. And of course, I need everybody to acknowledge the difference between the right leg and the left leg. And it isn't that it's directly or indirectly stronger or not. It's just think of all the things you have to do one-sided. If you drive, right, you have to get in your car from the left to the right, right? The way you move in and out of the car, unless you're in Europe or other parts of the world, right? So you're getting in your car one way, you're getting out of the car another way, and although it might feel similar, it's not, right? Some people get out of the car to the left, they turn, they square up, whereas they get in, they dip and they push and they plant with the left leg. So there's lots of mechanics. Kicking a ball, plant, explode, right? I can kick a ball left-footed, but I can't replicate that plant with my right and kick with the left of my life even depended on it. No way. When I dunk, right, when I go to basketball, right, I can plant and dunk right leg like that, but I couldn't plant and kick a soccer ball. Just think of all the things you do when you're relying on something like, ooh, I'm going to go do that because I feel comfortable with it. But yes, over time it has yielded a stronger leg, or a leg that you trust the most, or a leg that has more balance or has more mobility. Anyhow, Make sure that last circuit finished off with a 50 swimmers. Not magical if you miss it. And then you have your left leg, 5 sets of 20. Your chest fly to chest press is the 30 down by 6 total movements, or the 15 down by 3 revolutions. Work a little breathing. Remember, we've talked about mobility, right? You've got hip mobility. Your hips can move. There's so many muscles around your hips that, yeah, an imbalance can go a long ways. So a lot of that strength comes from the activation of all those hips and glutes on pistol squats and curtsy step-ups and split squats. So yeah, you might feel a difference, but a lot of it's in the hips and the glutes and the movement and activation. Don't get me wrong, the knee joint is a massive factor, right? I see it, right? The vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, right? They're pulling and pushing on the patella. So you're gonna have a very big difference with your right leg and left leg with just that aspect. But your knee, for the most part, you can bend and straighten your legs, but now you add load and displacement, things can change. I know you guys are cruising along. You got your 5 sets of 20 left leg against split squats, pistol squats, brain, step-ups, lateral step-ups, curtsy step-ups. But again, worst case scenario, just do a leg that you like to do, but you can slow it down and load it up. That's the time. That's what I'm trying to get today. And of course, I'm not gonna lie, I told everybody, I love my lunges. I personally love lunges, and I love the mechanics of lunges, the mobility, the activation, the pushing, the pulling. But for the next several weeks, you're gonna hear me really address these other right legs and left legs. These are just leg exercises where you can't alternate. I don't want you to alternate a lateral step up or a curtsy step up, right? There's too many moving parts. The split squat, again, you can do 10 right, 10 left, but you can't do alternating by 1. So these all be in your non-alternating, single joint, dynamic leg exercises. Very, a lot of words, right? You can throw the word, closed chain when your feet are on the ground, right? Closed chain. Open chain is when your feet are off the ground. So hamstring curls, quad extensions, hanging abs. Closed chain, dynamic, single leg. Stuff, things. If you're doing the fly press, right, you're laying on something, ground ball, bench, you got your shoulder blades leading the way on the fly, smooth, wide, that nice good push. You can totally play with your hands on the push. I definitely want the fly to be neutral, slow, and wide. You can either do a neutral push, you can do an angled push, you could close it down and do a closed, regular push. There's lots of little ways to change that push. So the fly press has a little diversity based on your push position. Last circuit. As you're finishing up, again, I know you're not done, you better not be done, but as you're finishing up, I started with it and I'll end with it. Make sure you get hydrated and don't just pound a bunch of water. Throw in some electrolytes in there. Right, you're gonna hydrate. When you get done with these workouts, it's the best time to get some nutrition, get some hydration, stretch, elevate those legs. Naturally, we're all gonna get a little more active when the sun comes out. You start doing more things. And then people are like, oh, I'm just really tired today. I'm just kind of achy and tired. I feel heavy. You feel heavy, you got lactic acid build up, carbon dioxide build up, your lymph system needs to get flushed out. So hydrate, drink that water, electrolytes, elevate those legs, stretch those legs. Get that junk moving out of your lower body into your lymph system. Get it into the bloodstream and it'll get out of your body. So if you haven't done the leg elevation thing in a while, butt against the wall, legs in the air, it's a good thing to do, especially after a weekend like we just had. And now when you get done, make sure you say goodbye. If you're on the recorder workout, right, I'll be logging off here. You'll be able to finish strong, keep it going. And I'll stay on until you say goodbye. 5 sets of 20 left leg. Fly press is 30 down by 6 or 15 down by 3. Happy Monday.